They're a very soft setup. Really curious how they're going to perform. What is up, everyone? Today we're going to be testing out RC4WD Drive's cheapest 1/10 scale RC crawler tire. So that is going to be these 1.7 Cepek Trail Country tire. They also have a couple tires in the 1.9 range and stuff that are also the same price. These are $15.99 for a pair. So usually like their average tire, I think on the website's about 30 or 35 bucks a pair. So this is super cheap, and we'll be going over it quick, and then we'll run them on the test track because I think there's a big storm coming, so I don't want to be out in the river and get hit by a storm. So before we hit the test track, I just wanted to go over my opinion on the tires and then kind of compare them to other tires that I have here that are, I want to say, in a similar class as these. They're more of a normal size and not extremely aggressive tire. I mounted these on the 1.7 Yoda Steelies from RC4WD Drive. I just love the look, and I can, throw these on any of my Toyota trucks and they'll look very fitting. So I was very hesitant in even buying these tires because I was just confused. I'm like, why is it only like 15 bucks per pair for a licensed tire off RC4WD Drive's website? Like, it didn't even make sense. So I've been wanting them for a while, and I finally just bought them. I didn't see really any videos online, like YouTube videos of people running these, so I'm like, you know what, I'll just make a video on them. But overall, I was actually really surprised when I got them how sticky the rubber is, how soft it is, and then how soft the foam is that came with them. So they're a very soft setup, and it's good for traction and stuff. So I'm really curious how they're going to perform. But comparing them to like the mud thrashers, these used to come on all the RTR like Mojave trucks and whatnot. They're a way softer rubber. They're almost exactly, I think they're like exactly the same height and stuff like that. But these are still, I think, like 30 bucks on RC4WD Drive's website. These are 1.5s, obviously the older stainless steel beadlock wheels, but tire height and compound wise, or not compound, but aggressiveness, these are more aggressive, but these probably grip better because they are super soft, and they also have the little sipes in the tread, so that helps with grip. Someday I wish I could have like two identical trucks to do a really nice like tire comparison videos with, and someday maybe when I get rich I'll do that. But another reason I love these tires is they kind of reminded me of the old RC4WD Drive Desert King tires. So I don't know if you're old enough to remember these, that are discontinued, but these were like one of my favorite just scale tires to run on my trucks because they just looked like old worn out like all-terrain tires. So these are kind of nostalgic for me. When I saw them, I was like, hey, they look really similar to the, I guess, I don't know, overall style and stuff. But yeah, so comparatively, this is a super, or not super hard, but a lot harder of a rubber and less sticky. Obviously, this is very old rubber technology for RC trucks. Same with these. I mean, these are a little bit better, but overall, yeah, old, hard rubber. And then comparing them to the stock tires that came on this 1982 Toyota from RC4WD Drive. These are the BF Goodrich KO2 tires in the 1.7 as well, just the chrome wheels. The rubber is about the same, but the foam is super hard in these from the box. So this is so much softer foam. It's crazy. Just being a stock tire, I don't know if I've ever had a stock foam come that this is this soft. So hopefully it's not too soft. I guess we'll find out. But tread wise, this has more of a tread depth than these, and a little more aggressive, obviously, but they are both super sticky tires. These tires perform very well as well out of the box, surprisingly. I have a few videos of running this truck stock with the tires and stuff, and I was just very impressed with the grip from these, even with the hard foam. But yeah, these are going to be probably, I don't know, maybe one of my favorite tires to run on scale truck. I'll probably put them on my beater eventually, my other beater, not this one, because they're more of a stockish look, and I think it'll fit that truck. But for this video, we'll test it on this little rig because I have my Fusion SE 1800 in this from Hobby Wing, and it's just very nice to do the slow control on. We will swap these on quick and then take it out on the test track. And if you're wondering, there's nothing wrong with these Milestar Patagonia tires. They're actually super great tires. I was running these when I took this thing to New York and didn't even really want to take them off. They worked really good. I swapped the BF Goodrich tires on for a little bit and we got into mud. And they're not the greatest in mud, so I put these back on, and those were basically my main tire while I was out in New York. But yeah, these are really good tires. Oh yeah, I love the contrast with these white wheels. That was kind of one of the things I was looking forward to as well, is the white with the blue. And these wheels actually came with chrome caps. Oh jeez, look at all that grass from the other day. But came with chrome caps, yeah, chrome caps. But I don't know. I threw the black ones on from these wheels. That's what these come with, are the black ones. Here's a quick look with the tires on. I love the white. I don't know. What do you rate it? 1 out of 10 with the wheel and tire setup. I think it looks fitting for the height and everything of this truck. Yeah, let's go take it up on the test track. So this first obstacle right here with the round river rock is actually like one of the most difficult ones on a track when it comes to traction, because the round rock is so smooth and this thing just ate it up. You can see how well it's gripping by the tire twist on there. So this obstacle on my course is probably the most difficult to manipulate, because you kind of have to pick the perfect line, especially with smaller tires. You usually need a lot bigger tires to get over it, because this happens where you just get pinched between the doors. So it took a few times to get where it wasn't hitting the transfer case or an axle or getting pinched in between, but it was not a traction problem whatsoever. So this obstacle right here is a nice spot to test like the sidewall strength and to see if it's too soft where it'll roll over. But as you can see here, it stayed upright just fine. Sidewall actually holds its own pretty well. Didn't have any issues with it rolling over itself too hard or anything like that. So this is an obstacle that normally wouldn't be difficult at all, but you can see all the sand everywhere, which just causes it to lose traction. But if you're looking at the rear tire, it's still gripping everything very well. It's hugging the rock and just making its way up the cliff. And no, my video is not filmed in slow motion. This is real time. Just got that hobby wing motor. It's killer with the slow speed, and these tires are gripping really well going down grade. Well, I've got to say, I am very impressed with these tires, especially with just how cheap they are and how like not aggressive they are at all. I mean, it was gripping on everything, no problem whatsoever. I would like to see how they do in mud. I don't have any hopes for mud because just obviously how smooth they are and stuff. But I mean, hey, you never know with how soft they are. They might actually clean out. So I don't know. We'll have to see in another video. I want to take this down to the river and stuff, but like I said, I was rushing with a thunderstorm coming in. Even with how soft they are, like a lot of tires, when you get it up on the side like this, that sidewall rolls under where the truck just flips over. But I think the foam is just barely stiff enough, and just because the tire is a little bit wider than some other tires that I have, it doesn't do that. Like I was trying to get it to flip over, like, you know, from the sidewall, and it was just holding its own the whole time. So super impressed. Very, very happy with these tires. I love the look. I think they're going to fit that other truck too very well, just being like a more stock look. Like I said, in my other videos, the whole look that I'm going with this truck is like a woods truck / hunting truck. So I'm going to probably run something more aggressive on this all the time. Something closer to this, but I mean, I swap wheel and tires all the time. But that's kind of my favorite thing about the crawler world, is having different wheel and tire setups for different terrains, different looks, and etc. Just, you know, you can always have something to choose from and something to swap to if you're on the trail and all of a sudden you get a ton of mud and your tire setup isn't working out. Then you just swap a different set of tires and you can keep going and keeping up with everyone else. So I always bring like 2-3 sets of tires with me, just, you know, for every adventure, for the fun of it. I think the only problem that I could see with these tires is if you have like a really heavy truck. I mean, this is your average, you know, Trailfinder 2. It's got the engine bay and stuff in it. It's not too heavy, but I mean, maybe like a K10 or a Blazer, they might not work too well on, but I couldn't tell you because I don't have one anymore to see how the weight would do. But I mean, it's handling quite a bit of weight real easily. So like when I'm twisted and stuff. So I don't know. I can't really speak for it, but that's the only thing I might see a failure in. But I don't know. Yeah, overall, super happy with these tires. I'm excited to run them more and figure out what the limits are of them. All right, well, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, or if you had questions about these tires, if you saw them, I hope this helped you in deciding to buy them or not. I definitely would recommend buying them. They're super cool, very scale, and super grippy, as you saw. I mean, you can't go wrong for $15.99 a set, or a pair, rather. But yeah, if you did like the video, I appreciate a like. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all the builds and projects, and follow my Instagram, poverty_society, if you want to see more on there. And thank you guys for watching.